Hello friends and welcome to yet another video on TutorialsPoint with me Richa. Today in this particular module we will talk about business ethics. Well, on the agenda today we will talk about explaining what is the meaning of business ethics, identifying the significance of business ethics, identifying the principles of business ethics and ways to demonstrate business ethics. So friends, what do we exactly mean by the word business ethics? Now, ethics in business is something which is very essential and important. People who are working in an organization need to differentiate between good and bad or right or wrong, and they need to be able to choose the right over wrong. Ethics is something which, when no one is watching you, what exactly are you doing at that point of time is what ethics is all about. It's all about your morals, your values and your principles, which will help you to perform better and also not let go of the reputation of the company. It applies to all aspects of business conduct and is relevant to the conduct of individuals as well as the entire organization. If one person in the company behaves in the wrong manner, what happens is that the reputation of the entire company or organization is at stake. Well, what is the importance of business ethics? The entire or the ethical operation of a company is directly related to the profitability in both the short and the long term. So if you are ethical as a company, definitely profitability will be yours, either in the short or the long run. If a company is perceived to not operate ethically, investors are less inclined to buy stocks or otherwise to support its operations. So once your reputation goes down in the market, what happens is bad reputation gets in more negative publicity and people are not likely to invest in your company. Well, there are certain principles of business ethics. Let's take a look. The first one is honesty. Now, as an individual, it's important to be honest, and also when you're working for an organization or a company, it's important to display honesty in your actions, honesty in your words, and honesty in your deeds. The second is integrity. Now, integrity is all about trying to do the right thing even when you're pressurized into doing something which is not in sync with your principles and values. So integrity is something that all people in an organization need to perform or need to use on a day-to-day basis. The third one is loyalty. Well, ethical executives are worthy of trust and demonstrate fidelity and loyalty to persons and institutions by friendship in adversity, support and devotion to duty. They do not use or disclose information which is learned in confidence for personal advantages. So there is something which is known as confidentiality. Now, each and every organization need to be very extremely important that they need to be loyal about that particular information which is confidential. If you give away confidential information to outsiders, somewhere people will not appreciate it, and that can lead to a less of trust and ultimately your reputation is at cost. The fourth one is fairness. Fairness means trying to be fair and unbiased and just in all kinds of dealings with your people. So it's important that to gain or to have any kind of advantage, you need to ensure that you're fair to people. It's important to go out and not be biased towards people. The fifth one is concern for others. Well, it's important that you show empathy, love and support for all your people in your organization. It's important to put yourself into other people's shoes and really care for them. That is something which will help employees feel motivated and engaged at workplace, and also definitely they will be more ethical if they are feeling in one sync with the organization. Sixth is when you respect others, try to respect their decisions, try to respect their opinions and their words, etc. And that is how you can be more business ethical. Seventh is try to be law-abiding, by which we mean that ethical executives, they abide by laws and rules and regulations which are related to their business and activities. So try to follow the standard operating procedures, the laws and the rules which are governing your organization. Eighth is be commitment to excellence. Ethical executives are always people who like to excel at things without losing out on their morals and values. So try to be having a constant feeling of having excellence in your day-to-day life. Leadership, well, next thing is Ethical executives are conscious of their responsibilities and opportunities of their position of leadership and seek to be a positive ethical role models by their own conduct. If the leaders in the organization behave in an unethical manner, can you imagine what goes on in the lower level of people in the organization? And hence, as leaders, you need to make sure that you are walking the talk by showing really positive business ethics. The next one is reputation and morale. It's important that you treat your organization as if you're treating your own reputation and morale. You wouldn't like to have a bad reputation for yourself, right? In the same way, for the company or the organization, it's important to maintain positive reputation by following things in an ethical manner. Accountability is something which is very, very essential. All ethical executives try to take responsibility, accountability and ownership for their particular actions. Do not play the blame game by shifting the responsibilities and accountabilities to others in your organization. Well, let's take ways to demonstrate business ethics now. First one is accounting practice, which means that it's important to have honesty and transparency between shareholders and stakeholders in the company. Always try to keep things in a very open manner. Communication should be always transparent. Truth in selling. Well, it's important that whatever you're selling as an organization, you need to believe in that. So there has to be a lot of personalization or truth in that. The next one is integrity in management practices. That's the foundation for any company or organization. You need to make sure that your foundation principles are very, very ethical. The next is customer service integrity. Not only when you have to be good at business ethics when you're selling a product to a customer, it's also important to do your regular follow-ups and make sure that the customer is completely happy with your, with whatever you're doing for them. The next one is to have personal integrity. Well, it is important for business leaders to live a lifestyle of honesty, integrity and high ethical standards, because what these leaders can do can either make or break or harm the impression of the organization in the market. So hence, the leaders need to walk the talk and have personal integrity. The next is product integrity, which means that product integrity is important to those who purchase the products and services. This is when the public perception and brand recognition comes to play. So never do any goof ups or any unethical things with your products, because that can lead to a bad reputation of your company in the market. Well friends, to conclude business ethics, what we're really trying to say is ethics in business is about knowing the difference between the right and the wrong and choosing to do always what is right for you or the company. To retain a positive image, a business must be committed to operating on ethical foundation as it relates to the treatment of employees. You respect each other and also the surrounding environment, and a fair market practice in terms of price and consumer treatment. Well, that brings us to an end of this really nice module on business ethics. I hope by listening to this particular module, you have understood the importance of being ethical in your business environment. Please do keep watching, more videos coming your way. Do like and do share your suggestions with us. Thank you once again.